Soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy, in most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it, now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by plowing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. We must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
Our future, our children's future, and our planet's future depend on it.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
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 All right, so wonderful. So let's see, what can we do to make it happen? So now our plan is to share with you some of the latest updates and from Sadhguru's journey and discuss what you can do to participate in this week. And then we'll take some time to answer any questions that you might have. We will take about 30 to 35 minutes. So we hope that you'll be able to stay with us. So of course you're aware that Sadhguru has now started his journey, his 100-day journey. He's going into day 59. So he's gone from London all the way, the plan is to go to South India. So as of tomorrow, he's going to be in the UAE and Dubai. So during this journey, of course, he's met with many global leaders and influencers from all around the world. And the response has been so overwhelmingly positive. And we just wanted to take the opportunity to share a few highlights of his journey so far. We'll take a look at that.
Soil is not our property. It's a legacy that's come to us from previous generations, and we must pass it on as living soil for future generations. If we do not do this one thing, future generations will look upon us as a very irresponsible generation. I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers. Not a joyride at this age. Well, I thought, before I'm too old and no good for anything, I will do my bit. Every one of you, let's do our bit and let's make this happen. It's a great pleasure for me. These beautiful Caribbean nations are going for this first.
This memorandum of understanding that we are signing, it will also bring some technical assistance to the Caribbean region.
This is a historic moment because here is the first step to turn around.
You are probably one of the most famous Indians, and what you're doing today is really important because people like you who have a wonderful following of millions and millions of people, and what you're doing with that is so important with saving the soil.
If you want to say, I love you to your child, you must just say save soil, because it is a more committed way of saying I love you.
Every single one of us needs to get behind this really, really important mission.
It's an extraordinary campaign. It echoes what we in the Commonwealth have been aspiring to do for a number of years.
Next 100 days from 21st of March, we want the whole world to talk about soil. It is not about the motorcycle, it's not about the journey, it's not about the song, it is about moving people on the planet. Make it happen, huh?
Nobody spoke about soil like Sadhguru does.
I think if we all contribute, then we have a really strong voice.
has been so much excitement, and everybody is so excited to hear Sadhguru.
This is our time on the planet. What we do here is our business. Let's do the right things.
I honestly didn't feel like part of the movement before, obviously. I'd never met him. Seeing what kind of a following he has and how impactful it is, I really feel like I just joined a global movement.
Graffiti artists supporting this Save Soil movement, wanting to inspire the youth, and youth being the major population in most parts of the world today, all graffiti artists, to whatever walls that you have, make sure that you use this. One of the most beautiful cities of Europe.
It really resonated with me, the message that we have to save our soil.
It's our common issue together. It's not for one nation, for one person, but we as people have to unite and to solve this.
This is a celebration of human beings coming together to do what they need to do. Had a wonderful meeting with the Agriculture Minister of Slovenia. Reshimo first! All of us have been part of this destruction. The only way is all of us become part of the solution also. Riding on to Italy. Italy is raining heavily tonight. Here in Venice.
So it's like a wave of hope.
Is necessary for the future.
Over 2000 years ago, this eternal city made the mistake of over-farming the region, and the erosions that caused did tremendous damage, and that was also the fall of the city at that time. So, the Romans of today should never make that mistake once again.
And we are very happy that we are aligned in our message to really high the profile of soils, and we believe that is very much needed.
Young people getting into farming is very good. That's the future of the world. Thank you. Here we are in Geneva.
I think it's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. So I would really like to thank Sadhguru for his leadership.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
It touches your heart, you know, and his message is strong.
This massive fountain in the Lake of Geneva is lit up for Save Soil today with Save Soil colors of blue and green. You cannot stop this. The moment is on. It's going to be on till the policies are done. See, when people want it, it definitely will happen. There's no question about it. Tell me, will it happen?
In this cold, slippery road and winds are picking up speed, no matter what the hell, I have to keep going. You think this is a problem? Relentless commitment to what you do. That is the only solution. Save soil, let's make it happen.
We already have one action, which is an MOU to be signed between Isha Foundation and 4,000 Initiative Soils for Food Security and Climate for cooperation in achieving our objective of creating a healthier soil.
We were just sharing exactly the same objective, increasing carbon content in the soil.
I'm really humbled by your campaign, Sadhguru. What you are doing is really impressive.
First, I would like to thank Sadhguru for this campaign. I'm quite amazed and thrilled by it.
I was very honored to be on the stage and be able to actually express that his mission is what we need.
It's fantastic. France has been great.
Well, Brussels.
Let's put together and work on a common message for all to save a resource that determines our future. Save the soil.
We should all stand up and make the most impact we can to create a real change in the world.
Get the bottom!
And then a smashing evening at the main event. And a super enthusiastic crowd committing themselves to make this happen.
It's heartwarming to see everybody come together.
Save soil on the move. Let's make it happen. Just look up the news and see in the last 4 months, how many governments have started talking about soil because they see it's picking up momentum. But if you create 3 to 4 billion people talking about soil, that's it. That will be the main conversation in the government.
Save the Soil is a very important movement that we support as UNCCD. We would like to propose to the world to do whatever they can to protect the soil, because it is our future.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
I need someone to show me the way. I need someone to show me the way.
The education ministry in Germany has now come into the picture officially and asked all the children to do artwork to support Save Soil movement. Good, Arjun, wonderful. Congratulations that you wrote to the Prime Minister.
Let's make it happen!
So, on the way to Bratislava, well, the road surface is not great, too many puddles of water, so can't maintain very high speed. It's great that all of you are here in Bratislava. Nobody ever imagined 100 years ago that we will have to save soil of all the things.
Thank you for coming to Slovakia. It's wonderful, and I'm very happy that with your campaign.
Would you like to come in the kitchen and cook with me a little bit?
Why not? Without soil being rich, food won't be rich. Without food being rich, our bodies will not be of full potential.
What do you call it?
It's a Sadhguru-san.
Table 12.
The old heroes always built something which stands up like this, but the new heroes are those people who will nurture the soil which always lies beneath our feet, never stands up. This wonderful city of Belgrade, the UNFAO said something which really deeply hurt me, is the soil that we are consuming right now belongs not even to these little children, belongs to the unborn child. This is an expression of our love and responsibility for our own lives and the future lives.
I love the message that he sent and how he broadened it, that it's everybody's responsibility.
I think there is a great potential for a good collaboration, partnership with the campaign Save the Soil and what we are doing as a government. We can make it together.
It's very important, bringing a certain sense of love and celebration towards the land that we walk upon.
It's just afternoon, but temperatures are around 2 degrees, morning it was below 0. Not a weather for motorcycle, for sure. Going from Sofia to Bucharest.
Organize yourselves whichever way you want. Form groups, come together somehow and see this happens.
Sadhguru reminded me that I have a voice.
The people from Istanbul were really amazed by Sadhguru to appear, and they were just so happy to see him.
This many people, if all of you are committed and you spend 15–20 minutes a day to enhance the message, I think I don't have to go on riding like crazy. Yesterday I rode 18 hours, can you believe this, through Bulgarian roads?
Is an honest expression of his wisdom and love for humanity, I think.
He's been riding through very rough terrain, rough roads, dusty construction sites.
It was a long drive and we were getting a little late for the live event at Tbilisi.
He, right at the end, maybe 5 minutes before the event, decided that he couldn't stop for a break.
In the traffic, he was just removing his jacket and gloves and throwing in the car just to make it on time.
The whole purpose of this movement is to bring this home, that when you walk up on the soil, you know it is the source of your life. Keeping it alive is the most important thing. Will you make it happen? We could have touched, or nearly about 1.2 to 1.3 billion people have spoken about soil since 21st of March. But that's not good for us. We want 3 to 4 billion people.
It's a gift from God for the people, for the earth, for the soil.
We must save the soil, we must plant the trees, we must replenish the forests, we must save our planet.
Wonderful, thank you so much for standing up for soil. Right now, soil has turned into sand because we pulled out all the organic content. We are taking the life out of the soil. If we don't put that back, all the other concerns which are important to be attended to, but none of them will matter.
This is not for us, this is for him and his generation, hoping that they would have a better future with a better world. Save soil.
Well, it's very, I can tell you as a motorcycle driver, I also like motorcycles and it's not easy. This guy is devoted and this is what makes him so impressive and so he touches people.
When it comes to agriculture, when it comes to soil, when it comes to soil ecology, our national borders mean nothing because microorganisms operate as a global system. People are talking about doctors without borders. I'm asking you, are you beings without borders? Are you a life without borders? The only way we can see the continuum of life process is that it has to be addressed globally. implementation has to happen on the land, and land is not managed by scientists, land is managed by farmers. So it's extremely important. It must be a single point agenda, incentive-based agenda. If inspiration, incentives and disincentives after a certain period of time is the way forward, this is my appeal to every one of you, because I don't want this COP15 to end as one more convention with more paper and more paper. This must end with concrete action, and action in such a way that it's implementable.
Save soil! Let's make it happen!
So as you can see, many people are coming along with this journey. The public and so many different influencers and public figures and politicians from around the world are taking notice and are becoming very supportive of the movement. And here we are at day 59 into Sadhguru's 100-day journey. Another 40 days to go, another 40 days to make an impact and ensure more people are hearing about Save Soil. You know, I just found out that actually we are about halfway to the goal of reaching 3.5 billion people being aware of the Save Soil campaign. 1.25 billion people have now learned of Save Soil, have become part of it, both with the live events as well as with the online amplification that we've been doing with the social media campaigns. So that's just amazing. So now's not the time to slow down. You know, we want to keep this momentum and pick it up and be able to reach that goal of 3.5 billion people being aware, because that's what will make a difference of the global electorate and the nations that have the ability to be able to vote and make an influence with the policy change, with our politicians and national policy. So let's keep moving in that direction. And as you saw, over 250 media outlets from 18 countries. I mean, it's just amazing to see how many are getting behind this. Over 72 nations have signed with the movement and are working towards putting memorandums of understanding in place. So it's just very exciting to see all that is happening. And so we don't, want to slow down in any way. We want to see what we can do to continue to amplify the messages and be aware of everything that is happening and how we can contribute. So what we thought we might do now is just kind of take you into the website. There's so many things that are there in the website that we just wanted to take a chance to kind of highlight a few of those and go through them. And then we'll give you a chance to ask some questions and look at a few more things together. So just give me a moment to share my screen with you. So as you can see, that of course, coming to, the website, looking at the journey itself. So if you have been following along with Sadhguru's journey, that you can see the various places that he has been, but there's actually this map, this interactive map that you can follow. So this is where we are now in the journey. And tomorrow he'll be here in Dubai. So you can see in the UAE, that's where he will be. But if you missed any of them, you can go back in the journey. And if you click on these points, so on Sunday, if you wish to see the highlights, you can touch there. It'll take you right into the event. So you can go back and see the journey so far and highlights of the various events that happened. So this is a nice way to catch up on Sadhguru's journey if you missed any of the days. We wanted to make sure that you're aware of that. It's just a really nice way to interact with that. And if you want to find any of the cities that are coming up, you can look ahead to see where he's going to be in the coming weeks on his journey, soon to be landing in India. So very exciting. And then another part that we wanted to highlight for you is just looking at all the supporters. This can be a wonderful resource to share with others if there's a particular influencer that you think someone that you know may be impacted by hearing their words and being connected with the movement. You know, we have so many different leaders here, whether that be our global leaders, and you can see the various videos. You can scroll through them and they can be shared from here. So we have various scientists and experts in the fields, those that are connected with the UN, different political leaders from all the various nations. And then sometimes the cultural icons can be a great impact for certain people that you might be talking with, whether that be various actors or songwriters, people that are connected in North America or globally, depending upon where you're, who you're speaking with. Business leaders, people within the corporate environment. You know, we have Mark Benioff has been a supporter, of course, and Tony Robbins, various social leaders as well. So many. And then just sharing the supportive organizations and corporations that are also part of the movement. So this page, you can use that as a great resource. And then we wanted to bring you also over to, we'll start here. So of course we've been writing letters, but what's exciting is that since we had the COP15, the letters have been updated so that we now can share with those policy or share with those that are in a position to make policy changes, Sadhguru's three-prong approach that he spoke about at the COP15 event. So if you can take a look here, here's the suggested letter. So if we were writing to the President of the United States, the letter has been updated, but is talking about at COP15 when Sadhguru talked about the three-prong approach, you know, where we can inspire and provide incentives and then finally disincentives to those are listed here so that it's very specifically laying that out. And then also within this, there is a handbook that is being created that, of course, the policies that would make sense for various nations and various parts of the world and where they are on the planet are different. Of course, the overarching, we want to increase and maintain that 3 to 6% organic matter in the soil. There are specific things depending upon what region of the world it is. So that handbook, this Save Soil handbook, is what we want to ensure that policymakers are aware of. And so that's within the letter. And then this was what I wanted to show you. So this is where they can request that. So this is where the Global Policy Draft and Solutions Handbook, so that it's appropriate for that particular region. So that can be entered and, you know, depending upon which region, it'll be a different handbook. And then it can be based upon, you know, what kind of institute, you know, is requesting that. So from all different kinds of backgrounds, and whether that's a, you know, if you're looking at it from just a citizen standpoint or a researcher or you're a farmer, this can be, you know, looking for more information, whether you want to learn about it, you want to share those as recommendations, or just make an impact in your country. So it's very exciting to see that this has now been released since COP15. So we wanted to make sure we had a chance to highlight that and share that with you. But of course, there's so many resources that are here. So if you're looking at what can I do today, under resources, daily activity, you can go there. There's many toolkits. And then of course, you know, all these different tabs will lead you in many different directions to be able to support the movement. So let's see, I'm going to come back to you live. Okay, there we go. All right. So we also just wanted to share, I don't know if you saw today, but it's an opportunity to be creative. And of course, social media is a wonderful way that we can keep amplifying the message, and hopefully we'll reach that more than 3.5 billion people so that everyone will be seeing Save Soil. But one of the latest things that is out there is if you can be creative and create your own meme for Save Soil. There's a bit of fun going on with that, where people are being very creative, coming up with different things and sharing that in social media. And if you tag the hashtag soil memes, then you can get a chance to be featured on the Conscious Planet website and even get some Save Soil merchandise sent to you. So it's kind of a fun thing going on. So look and see how you can be involved with that as well. And then another exciting thing, if you haven't seen yet, but there's many different national monuments that are going to be lit up for Save Soil. And as of May 21st, the Niagara Falls is going to be all in green and blue for Save Soil. So look for that. And then, of course, share that on with those that you know and on social media. And many different national monuments will be starting to light up green and blue in these final 40 days and beyond for Save Soil, from Memphis in the United States to Western Canada, out in Edmonton. There's going to be different monuments lighting up, so look for those. You know, it's lots, like we said, it's gaining momentum, and it's a critical threshold for us to just keep things going and keep yourself well informed, you know, keeping that Save Soil website and going to Conscious Planet, make use of all those tools and resources that are there, and follow Sadhguru's journey, of course. You know, there's so many different ways that we can be involved and continue to just keep amplifying that message, whether that be in Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, or even on TikTok. And if you haven't yet done so, certainly do sign up to be an Earth Buddy. And there, once you're plugged in with that, you will receive messages of very simple ways that, whether that be 10, 20 minutes a day, of how you can be involved. Ideas will be sent to you and be connected directly with the campaign. So it's, you know, it's all of our voices that's really going to make a difference. And, you know, it's a joyful thing to be part of, and, you know, continue to see how you can be involved. But we want to give you a chance to ask any questions that you might have. So if you would like to type those into the chat, we can see how we can answer those questions for you. Let's see. So how can a person write a mandate, and where would we send it? Save Soil, my friends. So I'm guessing that you mean like just how you could write a letter. So maybe I've already answered that. So when we were looking at the website on that, the place where you can write a letter, you certainly can pull that content and use that to share with others outside of, you know, the president. There's some direct links that could be shared with some very you know, prominent influencers and politicians and those that are making policy change. But if you wish to take that content and share that with others at more of a local level, to make sure that people within your circles know and, you know, expand in that way, you certainly can use that content and add to it. You can share it directly from that link. There are some direct connections of where you can send those letters, and sending them to the White House so that people can be aware of some of those influencers that can really make a difference. I would love some direction what common people should do in their daily lives for the purpose. So in your daily lives, I mean, as far as what we can do, as far as Save Soil goes, the biggest thing is that we just want to keep talking about Save Soil. We want it to become something that everybody is familiar with and that they know about, because what we have learned historically is the way that we can make a change is when all of our voices come together. The Montreal Protocol, which happened in 1987, was what reversed and worked towards reversing the hole in the ozone layer. And that only happened because it was a global focus, a single pointed focus, that everyone came together with just that one goal. And it was simplified. You know, it was simple. There's, you know, so much science that's behind it, and bringing it to, you know, everyone, taking out the technicalities of it all, just being as simple as, you know, we wanted to correct the hole in the ozone layer. Right now we're talking about we want to have healthy soil, that it's needed for all life, in order for all of us, doesn't matter where you live. So Save Soil is a very simple message, and bringing 3 to 6% of organic material back into the soil. So if we keep the message simple and we're all saying the same thing, coming together, we can make a big difference, because the Montreal Protocol was able to reverse the hole in the ozone layer. And we can also reverse this when we all come together. So the small things that we're doing, I mean, those are all wonderful and great, you know, whether that's composting in your backyard or, you know, recycling and all of those things, they're great, they're fine, but they're not going to be able to change the immensity of the issue that we have right now. So that's why, you know, we want to go beyond that. We want to make the policy change happen so that it can change on a bigger level. Can you share the name of the Facebook Save Soil group? You know, I am not aware of that direct name. Maybe one of our chat support, if you can help find that and post that if you haven't already done so, that would be wonderful. If not, we'll see if we can find that and share that by the end. So what's going to happen after the 100-day journey? So after the 100-day journey, we don't want it to end there, of course. You know, we want this to be essentially the start of it. We want this message to just keep getting louder and louder, more and more people, you know, hearing about it and knowing about it. And as these nations are committing to act on this Save Soil, that's really what's going to make a difference. You know, 72 nations so far. You know, we have 195 nations that we have customized the handbook towards how they can make a difference. So we certainly want to see all 195 moving in that direction, and for more and more people to just get behind this. So it's not really a culmination point exactly in the sense, yes, Sadhguru may get off of his motorcycle, but the message isn't going to stop there. The work isn't going to stop. We just need to keep talking about it and ensuring that those policies actually come to be in place. And if we could share the link for being an Earth Buddy, that would be great. So there's a link that you can click on and you can sign up to be that Earth Buddy, and then you'll be aware of all of the happenings in Sadhguru's journey, and what you can do on a daily basis, because just 10 to 20 minutes a day can make just such a huge impact on amplifying the message and making sure that more and more people know about it. Of course, yes, the goal is to have 193, I guess it's 195 because there's a little bit of overlap with some of the nations, but yes, we want to see all of the nations get behind this, because I mean, all of us, it's impacting all of us, right? 95% of our food comes from the soil. It has some connection to the soil. So it matters to each and every person in every nation across the globe. So we would like to see all of the nations seeing the importance of it. Yes. So that's all the questions that I'm seeing at the moment. We'll check back and see if there's any more there. But yes, just keep seeing what you can do to make a difference on a daily basis. We will meet again. Our hope is that these webinars can be an opportunity for us to look at some of the new highlights and the updates and the upcoming things that we can do as Earth Buddies and those that are caring about this Save Soil movement. The next one will be on Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. And then again, next week, it's going to be on Thursday at 7:30. So you can look for more things that you can do and what you can be involved with. Let me just make sure we didn't miss any other questions. Okay, great. And so before we close, we did want to share one more a video with you that highlights some of those that are partnering with us, and so that we can see all of the momentum that we're all working towards creating and how it's just continuing in that direction. And we hope that you enjoy that. And thank you so much for joining today. And we hope to see you next time.
Soil is not our property. It's a legacy that's come to us from previous generations, and we must pass it on as living soil for future generations. If we do not do this one thing, future generations will look upon us as a very irresponsible generation.
Save the Soil is a very important movement that we support as UNCCD.
UNESCO would like to join Save the Soil, and we're looking forward to working with you.
We use soil for our nourishment, but we need to give back to restore its organic richness. Our soil needs nourishing.
Soil is fundamental to food crops, biodiversity and food security. Preserving soil is key to safeguarding sustainable food systems.
Soils are the most valuable thing on earth. They produce most of our food, they stabilize our climate, they capture and hold the drinking water for all of us, and they are the basis for all life. We need to save our soils, and there's a global movement underway to do just that.
Sadhguru, you embarked into a 100-day motorbike journey from London to India, covering 30,000 kilometers across 25 nations. Save Soil campaign, calling on policymakers to make soil regeneration a priority. You are not young anymore. Embarking on such a journey is quite extraordinary.
The global movement led by him addresses the soil crisis by mobilizing people around the entire world.
Large-scale campaigns that really try to speak to a large number of people, across regions, across continents, is really, really important.
Very important soil campaign, Living Soil. You tell us if we can support the campaign in any way. Thank you so much.
Great honor to welcome Honorable Sadhguru to United Nations Climate Change. We are from the soil, we go to the soil. We need to do everything to protect it and prevent harm to the soil. So we have to save the soil. Join Sadhguru in his movement. We are all with him.
We really welcome the Save Soil movements, which is very much needed to move to a healthy planet and a healthy life.
A conscious planet as a fundamental in this process. We are very happy to working together with all of you.
Join hands with Save Soil to deliver safe, better soil for our world is the most wonderful moment. And this partnership that we are going to enter into will really be the difference we need to make.
We need more visionary leaders like Sadhguru to highlight environmental challenges we are facing and act.
And I say I'm personally delighted and personally excited to be here. I've been working on land degradation and restoration for a lot of my career. It's a message of urgency, but it's also a message of hope. And critically, I think it's a message of love. You said that. A way to say I love you is to say save soil. Save soil, let's get going. I think this is really exciting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. MOU to be signed between Isha Foundation and 4,000 Initiative Soils for Food Security and Climate for cooperation in achieving our objective of creating a healthier soil.
The scientists need people like Sadhguru in order to bring the right message to the right people.
We would like to propose to the world to do whatever they can to protect the soil, because it is our future, it is our capital.
So let's play our part by joining Sadhguru in his journey and drawing the world's attention and awareness to the issue of saving our soil. Let us make it happen and reverse the degradation of one of the most important parts of our ecology.
Implementation has to happen on the land, and land is not managed by scientists, land is managed by farmers. So it's extremely important. It must be a single-point agenda, incentive-based agenda. If inspiration, incentives and disincentives after a certain period of time is the way forward, this is my appeal to every one of you, because I don't want this COP15 to end as one more convention with more paper and more paper. This must end with concrete action, and action in such a way that it's implementable.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
Save soil, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Thank you very much. Let's make it happen.
Save soil!
Да спасим почвата.
Съхраним почву.
Рете den Boden.